That's my favorite one. So get rid of excuse-itis. There is no excuse good enough to tell me why you can't be a sales director. There is none. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. Because there are women that, Dawn, she's a great example. She battled cancer all year last year and still won a car. You tell me your excuse, and I might giggle because I just don't think that there's an excuse good enough. It's all up here. It's all what you tell yourself. Use your weekly plan sheet and your 6 most important things list. If you see yourself not doing this, fix it. Because you have to have your life in order. And compete only with yourself, not someone else. Something I do each month is I try to beat my best. I try to beat my personal record that I've made. Not something Summer's done because she's too stinking amazing. I'm going to have to do another path because hers is too great. But something you've done that you can do better than next month. What's one of those things? Maybe you've done 30 faces. Okay, do 45. That's how you can expand your thinking and expand your goals. So do decide what you want to do with your life, and are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price for being a director? Because if it was an easy road, we wouldn't be the top 2%. There's hard times. There's times where I want to sit down and cry. You can ask these DIQs. That's the hardest time, DIQ. Dinner is questionable. That's what DIQ stands for. Because my husband, whenever I had 3 DIQs last month, he said, I am so sick of eating Pringles. I feel like we're in DIQ again. Because it's we. It's never I. If you're married, it's we. Yes. Y'all both are in DIQ. Because he's going to feel the pressure. He'll be like, go get you something to eat and leave me alone. I'm booking classes. Leave me alone. So if you do this, you are a success. If you're willing to pay the price, you are already a success. Okay, real quick. Bookings. Let's move on to bookings. Bookings is the lifeline of your business, of your Mary Kay business. So needless to say, we need to start with bookings. It's the basics. Everything in Mary Kay starts when you book a selling appointment. From it comes sales, more bookings, regular customers, and team members. It's called full circle. So whenever you get a booking, you get sales, you get customers, you get team members. That's considered full circle Mary Kay. So if you ever hear that, you'll know. Because right now you're probably thinking, what the heck does that mean? That's what it means. Because we say that a lot. I want you to do a full circle party. Mm-hmm. That's what a full circle party is. They don't have to sign up, but it's interviewing them. Because so many times we get nervous and we forget the interview part, which is the most important part in my eyes. Oh my gosh, it's so important. So pack your date book full. If your goal is to be a director, you need to have at least 10 appointments on your books at all times. And this used to be a saying I always said, when you're writing in your date book, you're writing out your checkbook. That's so true. Because if that thing is Snow White, so is your banking account. And it's like I said earlier, it's not all about the money, but money gives you what? Choices. And this is another thing that goes along with attitude. Me and my husband no longer say, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I'm broke. If I ever hear that come out of your mouth, I might scream. You are not broke. That's a mentality. Broke is a mentality. You are not broke. Broken is someone that gets wounded. That's broke. You're not broke. Broke's a mentality. You choose not to spend your money on that. That's what I always say. I choose not to spend my money on that this month. Maybe next month. Because I promise you, whenever I start bringing home big paychecks, Jordan likes to spend them before I get them. And I say, we choose not to spend our money on that this month, right, honey? Okay? Yeah, we're going to save it. Save the money, not spend it. So, just remember that. Just believe, work, and follow through, and it will happen. The first thing I ask you, if you tell me you're struggling with your business, what's the first thing I always ask you? How many bookings do you have? Or is it not?
Exactly.
It's like the very first thing. How many how many parties have you held? Because if you're holding parties, you're doing something. And you're getting some sales somewhere. You have to be. So make a list of, you can write this down, but anyway, make a list of every person possible you can imagine giving them this opportunity. So if I look on your Facebook tonight and you have 500 friends, that's 500 people you could book a party with. Because everyone has skin. So we're good there. Number 2, set aside 1 hour a day, all week, and stay on the phone. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Call each person to tell her you're participating in a special program, and your assignment is to introduce at least 5 people this week to a marvelous skincare product. Then ask for a date. Give her a choice of how many? 2. Only 2. Do not give her tons of choices. She'll say, I'm going to have to see which one of them is best with my friends and call you back. All right? That's what they do. Hey, I've been there. What about that? I booked 2. What about that? So book her and continue to call more for 1 hour. Because what I used to do, I would go in my room, I'd close the door, I'm like, okay, I'm going to book for an hour. I'd get one booking and be like, whoop, I'm done. Okay, got my booking for the day. I'm good. Well, guess what? You need more than one booking to be a director. You actually need 16 back to back to back to back to back. Full circle to be a director. 16. And it's imperative that, and this is one thing that I tell people, just because you've done 16 parties does not mean that you should be a director already. I'm saying when you do 16 back to back, full circle, you should be a director. Because you have to be in contact with enough people. If you are working them bad boys right, it only takes 16. So that's the reason we're doing this class, so you work them bad boys right. So you get more bang for your buck. Anyway, it's imperative that every one of your customers receives at least 1 fresher facial per year. So if you have customers in your customer profile you have not facialed in a year, you need to call them this week. Because guess what? Our skin tone changes. Our complexion changes. Between 25 and 35, your skin changes once a year. Something drastic. Once a year. During that time period. Because it's your skin maturing. Is what we call it in Mary Kay.
Maturing. That sounds so much better.
Don't it sound better?
Yes, it does.
So maturing. It's maturing. Makes you feel like you're growing up instead of growing old, right?
Yes.
Okay, number 4. Your goal is to book 2 more selling appointments to replace 1. So, if you have 1 on your book, you need to go put 2 more on your book to replace that 1. That's called double booking. Leaving a selling appointment without 2 bookings on your books is a shame, and you shouldn't do it. So this is what I used to do. If I walked out of a skincare class and no one booked with me, or maybe I only had 1, I would like literally run back in the house because they stay in there and talk forever. You know that. So I'd run back in the house and say, oh my gosh, I forgot the most important thing. I cannot leave here until I get another booking. It is a part of my training. This class is going to be worthless unless I get 1 more booking. So guess what happens? They're like, oh, well, I'll book that. We want Susie to get credit. I'll book that. I'll do that for you. That's what they do. I used to run in the house like it was an emergency. And I'd go, oh, I completely forgot my booking. I have to get my booking. It's part of my training. Because it is. Yeah. We teach you. Get 2 bookings. You are not lying to her. It is part of your training. You get 2 bookings per booking. So you go book a party, hold the party, and get 2 bookings from the party at least. They're the lifeline of your business. Okay, and then a review facial. There should be, I say this, I don't say review facial, I say follow-up facial. And I say that you have to say something 7 times. You have to say something 7 times. I'm not going to say it 7 times. But you do have to say something 7 times before a woman remembers it. That's scary. Never tell your husband that. That is not something to go tell your husband. But you do have to tell a woman something 7 times before she actually even hears it the first time. Did you know that? Because we're so used to multitasking, we don't even think about what we're thinking about, you know? We're washing clothes. We got a kid hanging off the leg. We're drying these nails on this hand. I mean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. we don't even think about it. That's why we have to say, that's why up here we talk about being a director 7 times. Yeah. Count them next time we do a meeting. Huh? I told you a trick. But I always say follow-up facial. We'll do that at your follow-up facial. Well, I want to put on cheek color. We'll do that at your follow-up facial. This is skincare only. Mm-hmm. This is exclusive skincare. Next facial, your follow-up facial, we'll do all the color you want. And then they'll say, well, what about the foundation? You going to match my foundation? Yes, but at your follow-up facial, I'm going to make sure it's the right color. I mean, you're going to obviously make sure it's the right color then, but by the time you see her in 2 weeks, if she's going to the tanning bed or she just went to the beach and she just came back, she might be darker and need a darker shade, especially with it being summer. So 7 times. And the facials, the follow-up facials should always, always, always be within 10 days of the actual appointment. So if Susie Q holds an appointment on the 1st, she must do a follow-up facial by the 10th. It's a part of your training. I always blamed it on my training. Mm-hmm. I always said, it's a part of my training. I just have to do it. Summer said to do it, so I'm doing it. I always blamed it on Summer, too. You can blame it on me. I will be more than happy to take the blame for your success. There are many other ways of getting bookings. However, the key to each and every approach is to simply what? Ask. And if they say yes, great. If they say no, okay, move on. And Jordan always challenged me to go out and get 10 no's. Well, do you know how hard that is? You think it's easy. You're thinking, oh, well, I can go to Val, North Carolina and get about 20 no's in about 2 seconds, right? Yeah, no, it's not as easy as it sounds. Because I thought it sounded easy. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go do that. 2 hours later, people are still telling me yes. I'm like, people, please. I want to go home. Somebody tell me no. But they see you wearing your pen, and I always wear it upside down. This one's a little too heavy. It's got too much blingage. But I always wear it upside down because it is natural, like y'all are looking at it right now. It is natural for a woman to be like, oh, let me fix that. You know, if somebody's got a hair on them, you don't even know who they are, and you're picking hairs off of them. Right? We do that. It's natural. So there's a little poem here. It says, our lives will be no greater than the plans we make and the actions we take. We are the architects and builders of our lives, our fortune, and our destiny. If it's to be, it's up to me. So I love that one. So just real quick, I'm going to go over your homework that you're going to have for this portion. You'll actually have 2 different homework pages to turn in, and this is going to be emailed to you tonight. Book at least 6 group selling appointments in the next 2 weeks. So what's that mean whenever I say that? Book 6 appointments. What's an appointment? A skincare class. Group selling appointment. There has to be at least how many there? 3. That's right. So book at least 6 group selling appointments within the next 2 weeks. So hold them out to the next 2 weeks. The next thing is to study booking section on our website. It says Career Essentials. You can go on Mary Kay in Touch and keyword search for Career Essentials. But you can also go on our website and look underneath the booking section. There's a booking script on there that says 30 Faces in 30 Days booking script. Memorize that script. That's the one I want you to memorize. And then hold at least 4 facials and 2 group selling appointments this week. Put a star next to the names of the hostesses in number 2 above that you booked. So it's actually number 1. I don't know why it says number 2. Right here. So put a star by the ones you've done booked and are holding for that week. And make an effort to contact all previous team building prospects and ask for a decision. And whenever you turn in your homework next week, I want you to enclose a list with the names, decisions, and a brief note describing their situation. For instance, Susie Q may love Mary Kay. She would love to do Mary Kay. However, she's too busy. However, she has no money. Well, that's why she works at JOB, Journey of the Broke. That is why we do not call